Hello and welcome back to Suspended Animation. I am your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time I'm looking at the CW Crisis on Infinite Earth series that just completed on Monday. I had to remember when it was. And it actually started in December, and now it finished up in January here. So, before I do that, let me get a little bit of business out of the way first, and I'll get into it. If you like what you see here, hit the like, share, and subscribe button down below there. If you're still on the fence about joining up at the very end of this video, you're going to see a video pop up here. And basically, what that is YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one video, my vast video library, and pops it up there just for you. Up here is going to be let me see, what am I going to put up there? I'm probably going to put up the other Is It Worth My Time? And that was 6 Underground. There we go. I had to remember what it was that I did there, because you don't want to see the contest thing, the Expanse contest. You can if you want to, but I think the Is It Worth My Time 6 Underground would be better up there. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram. I also have a Patreon page. No tier set up as of yet, but I will at the beginning of this year sometime. I've got some ideas on stuff. I just need to implement them and find out if it's feasible and if I can afford it. That's the whole thing. Let's see what else. You can also hit the bell down below here too, but 50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you that I'm on. Best thing to do is go to my website, suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every Monday. And this was not on the schedule because this is a surprise. It ended and I forgot about it, and I just finished it yesterday. So there we go. All right. So non-spoiler version for those of you who are still on the fence about, watching this or whatever, because it is 5 episodes. It's 5 hours of episodes, and it is CW, DC CW. So if you're not into the DC CW series, skip it. Especially if you don't know anything about DC Comics lore or anything like that, just skip it because you're going to get lost for the most part. If you know your DC Comics lore, um, yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. It's more so this CW DC series, all their DC series are more lighthearted, except for Black Lightning. Black Lightning's a little bit of its own animal. It's still good. It just is a little bit more serious than the other ones. The other ones are a lot more lighthearted, except for Arrow. Arrow had a bit of brooding going on and as well, and that was a little bit there. You lost me at CW is what Mork says. Yeah, I know. I know. A lot of people don't like the CW stuff, as I used to do I used to go by week and do all the episodes of the CW superhero shows, and I called it Feelings in Hallways, and even I had to give up on it because I just couldn't do it. It was that bad. But this actually has enough Easter eggs. It's got some stuff in there. If you are a DC fan, it's got everything in there that you could ever want. It's gonna it's fun. It's a fun romp kind of thing. And again, if you are a DC fan, this is something you're gonna want to watch. I mean, we hit a couple different things. You've probably seen it in the media before. Um, Again, Crisis on Infinite Earths means there's multiple Earths, and there are multiple versions of these characters. So Batman 66, Batman 1966 actually exists as one of the worlds. Batman 1989 exists as one of the worlds. Kingdom Come exists as one of the worlds, that kind of thing. You see all these things within the series, within these episodes. Um, so yeah, you can actually go and watch that stuff if you're a DC fan. That's all I'm gonna say, DC Comics fan. And you'll be perfectly fine with it. It's actually some fun. So with that said, Um, that's why I gave you the caveat. If you're a DC fan, yes, watch it. If you're not, if you're just a casual comic book fan or even a casual CWDC fan, don't watch it because you're going to be lost for the majority of this thing. So, with that said, let me get to the spoiler alert. I am gonna spoil the rest of this, so if you haven't seen it, go away for a little while, and you can come on back at the end of the video or something like that, but I am gonna spoil it. So, there we go, you've been warned. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. TWDC 347, what's going on, man? Uh, what's the next Mr. Robot series? You're asking the wrong person, man. He's, doing something else altogether, but, uh oh, Mr. Robot kind of series, Westworld. There you go, TWDC, and that's in March. So, back to the spoilers on the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths, Crisis on Infinite Earths. There we go. Some of the stuff that I really liked, we got to see Kevin Conroy as Batman, live action Batman. Sure, he was playing Kingdom Come Batman, that's why he had the, mechanics on there, and he was a dick, but it was good. But one thing I really loved, Brandon Routh gets to play Superman again. He got to play Superman again, and that was fucking awesome, and he got to play Kingdom Come Superman. So he was basically playing Christopher Reeve's Superman, because that's what he did in Superman Returns, that's who he was playing, and he carried that through into Superman Returns, or Kingdom Come Superman, and that was what was kind of very fucking cool. So, another thing, I mean, we had a lot of cameos in this, a shit ton of cameos. We had Burt Ward, who played the original Robin in Batman, 1966. He played Robin again, older Robin now, who is walking Ace the Bat Hound, and we had people from Birds of Prey, the old TV series Birds of Prey. One of the things that everyone's been talking about, of course, is the final episode, episode 5. Excuse me, episode 4 actually is when this happened. The beginning of episode 4, we had a cameo. No, it's live action. It's live action TWDC. We had a cameo for Ezra Miller playing the Flash, the DCEU's Flash, meeting Grant Gustin, the CW Flash, of course. And the best thing about it was that he ended up disappearing. Uh, I kid, I kid. Supposedly, that scene was filmed after everybody else had wrapped. Everything else had wrapped. Warner Brothers wanted that scene in there. They wanted Ezra Miller's Flash to be in there to remind you that he's just as horrible of a Flash as you remember him from Justice League. I kid, but he really is. Um, no, they basically wanted you to remember that there's actually movies based on this shit too. So, that's why they put him in there, and it was done after the fact. So they had already filmed everything else, and that was just like a last minute thing that they filmed. No one knew about it. TWDC says, "I get confused with DC shows versus movies." Really? They're actually fairly easy. I mean, you could tell what the difference is, in quality. Popeye Pliskin, Birds of Prey came out 10 years too soon. Yeah, I know, and on a wrong network too. Philip Academic says the last crisis scene made me happy. Yeah. Um, the end of it, yes. There were some geeky moments for me too at the very end. So basically, what ended up happening was they restarted the universe with Oliver's help. Oliver is dead, comes back as the Spectre to restart the universe, and with the Paragon's help, of course, and does so at the cost of his own life again. He actually dies. So Oliver is dead twice now. He dies twice upon doing this. And the earth or the universe that he births ends up having all the worlds kind of mushed together now. So now all our CW shows are all on one world. They don't have to go through multiple, they don't have to have Vibe take them from world to world anymore. So there we go. And they also have a Justice League headquarters now. Flash was able to repurpose an old Star Labs storage facility, and now has it as we see it. It looks exactly like the cartoon. They even play the Super Friends logo. Da, 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 da. And we even have a cage with a banana that was in it that's open that has the name Gleek on it, which actually kind of warmed my heart a little bit because that means we're getting the Wonder Twins hopefully here. I hope we get the Wonder Twins, quite honestly. But yeah, um, they should have filmed Iris disappearing forever and ever. Sorry, I'm not PC. She's a horrible. I don't know, Marks. Actually, she's not bad. It's she's very enthusiastic, and I think that's I've seen her in person at WonderCon, and she is very, very excited about the role that she's playing, quite honestly. She's a really nice person, quite honestly, the way she and she's just really into it. And I think that kind of comes through and kind of puts some people off on that. But that's what you need in the Flash. You need hope. That's what he is. He's the hope portion of it. He's gotten a little too broody. That series has gotten a little too broody, and I think now with the way things are, mushing all these worlds together into Earth Prime, we are getting a little bit more lightheartedness back to it, and that's kind of what Flash season 1 was, Flash season 2, and then it started becoming Arrow after that. It started becoming very dark and shit. And yes, exactly, Philip Demick. Didn't forget about that. They showed alternate Earths as well. We saw the where the Titans were. We saw Doom Patrol. We saw Stargirl. We saw the Green Lantern Corps actually. So the Green Lantern Corps is now canon within the DC CW universe as well. And yes, Philip Demick, there is a new Green Lantern TV show that's going to be on HBO Max, but it's going to be Green Lanterns throughout the millennia, I guess is what it is. So who knows? We might have different Green Lanterns in there. Hey, Anthony Greenslade. So no Wendy and Marvin in the Super Friends sequence. No, there was no Wendy or Marvin in that. Popeye Pliskin. Just Gleek's empty cage with a banana in it, which let me, that was one thing also I thought of. I'm like, that's supposed to be a storage facility. Did they have a live animal in there all that time? What the fuck? Is someone just going in there and feeding them and then just leaving them in the cage? That's animal cruelty, man. Star Lab should have been shut down a long time ago. But so yeah, Brandon Routh was good. I know a lot of people love John Cryer as this version of Lex Luthor. I am not one of them. I kind of put him at the bottom of the barrel of Lex Luthor's. And yes, I know a lot of people love his portrayal of Lex, but I'm yeah, I just couldn't do it. And when he actually emerges from Brandon Routh's Superman, I was kind of pissed to tell you the truth. I wanted more of Brandon Routh's Superman, the Kingdom Come Superman. That's what I wanted. And no, unfortunately, we get Ducky. Uh, your favorite Lex right now is the one from Harley Quinn? Really? I no, my favorite one is still Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. We even had Smallville in there too, and we saw that Clark from that universe or that world had actually given up his powers. Yeah. John Cryer makes Jesse Eisenberg look like Gene Hackman. Yeah, I agree with you, Popeye Pliskin. I couldn't have said it better myself. He was not good in it. Supergirl was fun in this. You could tell that what's her name, who's playing Batwoman, is lost in a sea of better actors when she was in this. I mean, just completely lost to the point where they just kind of put her in the background fighting CGI wraiths. That was what it was. I mean, even her scene where she's supposed to be lost in the Speed Force, she's just standing there going, "Why are you so angry? What's wrong? Whoa, you don't trust people. I have that same problem." And I mean, really, it's that wooden of an acting job. And luckily, Flash comes in and just takes her before we have to suffer through any more of it. Yeah, the good God, her scene was just horrible. Um, yeah, that's all I can say. Ah, but and then Black Lightning gets a little tiny bit of stuff put in, and I loved Jefferson coming in and kicking some ass, and people are just like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he doesn't get a chance to really explain anything, and he doesn't get anything really explained to him, other than what John Jones did when he came in and basically filled him in as to what the fuck was happening on that Earth, on Earth Prime at that point. Um, so yeah, it's we'll see what happens now. So this actually opens up what is going to happen now with the CW series is that they're all on Earth Prime, and they're all together now so they can cross over into their own little worlds and whatnot. And we're losing Ray Palmer again, unfortunately. So he's being replaced by Osric Chow, and I can't remember. I honestly, for the life of me, I can't remember what his character's name is called. All I know is he is not. He's the new Ray Palmer now. He's the new Adam. Is what he's going to be on Legends of Tomorrow, and I'm very disappointed in that. And from what I understand, so is Brandon Routh. That he is being kind of kicked off the show. So Philip A. Demick says, I so wanted to see James Marsters, Lex Luthor. Michael said he would do it, but they were not telling many details. James Marsters. Are you talking about Michael Rosenbaum? Oh, no, you're saying, okay, James Marsters doing, okay, I got it. Michael said he would do it, but yeah, they wouldn't tell him any details. They weren't going to give him any money. He's also dealing with an ailing relative, I believe his father. And he's like, I don't have time for this bullshit. If you're not going to tell me what it is, see ya. And I don't blame him, quite honestly. You know, yeah. Let me do this for free. So for some exposure, let me do it pro bono. All right, sure. No, I don't blame Michael Rosenbaum for turning it down. Although he should have been Lex Luthor in this entire thing to begin with from the get-go, but no. No, we got Ducky instead. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I realized what you were getting at there, Philip. That Spike, that James Marsters had voiced Lex Luthor. But yeah, it was just one thing, and that's why I didn't remember it. Quite honestly, actually, Jeffrey Wright right now is doing the voice of Lex Luthor in Harley Quinn, which is kind of funny. He's everywhere now. Jeffrey Wright. He's in a lot of things. And in Westworld season 3, which is coming on March 15th, somewhere around there. Yeah. So, yeah, do I recommend it? Again, if you are not a DC fan, if you are not versed in DC lore, is it worth your time? No. If you are and you want the Easter eggs, you want a little bit of giddiness, at seeing all this stuff on the big screen, or in my case, big screen. Um, it would have been a lot of fun. You'll have a lot of fun with it. It is 5 episodes. It is 5 hours worth of this stuff. So, and you can't fast forward if you're watching on the CW app. I'm just going to warn you right now. But if you have other options of watching it, you can fast forward through that. You know, through some of the slow parts. Uh, James was Brainiac at one point. When was that, Philip? I don't remember him playing Brainiac. I know he so the guy who's playing Brainiac on Krypton was actually my favorite. Oh, on Smallville. Oh, that's right. He did play Brainiac on Smallville. I forgot all about that. I did like the guy on Krypton who was in Da Vinci's Demons. I can't remember his name, but he's the one who played Brainiac in on Krypton, and he was damn good. I would have loved to have seen that in there too. But yeah, we had a lot of worlds just kind of disappearing is what we had, and You get a little blip of somebody, and it's like, okay, he gets eaten by antimatter. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Marks. It wasn't bad. It was fun. It's CWDC. If you like campy DC like I do, I love 70s DC comics, which were campy as all fuck. That's what this is. This is 70s DC comics. And that's what I liked. Yeah, yeah. So is it worth your time? Yes, if you're a DC fan. If you're not, if you're just kind of casual, you're going to be confused by a lot of the stuff that's in there. Most likely, you're probably going to go, "What the fuck is this?" and you're going to turn it off. So I'll say no for those of you who are not DC fans and don't know the lore. They even had Marv Wolfman in there too. Marv Wolfman, who wrote the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline in the original comics. He's the one to blame, by the way. He walks up to Flash and Supergirl, asking them to sign their photo, which I thought was pretty funny. That we even had Marv Wolfman come in. That was actually kind of nice that they did that. But yeah, I want to see where we're going with Stargirl as well. Stargirl is going to be happening. They just announced that it's March, and now I'm blanking on the time on the date again. But yeah, I thought it was going to be February, but it's going to be March. That's what they're going to do. And I take that back. It's supposed to be streaming on something else in March. I believe it's supposed to start in February, the end of February, because that's when Harley Quinn ends, and usually DC Universe has something on that Friday that's going to be taking its place. And then, of course, we have Doom Patrol coming back at some point in this year. Titans has threatened to come back with a season 3 this fall. And what else is there? Uh, oh yeah, no, we're gonna have Superman and Lois. They just ordered a 13 episode uh, arc for that. They being the CW, which is going to happen this fall, and Green Arrow and the Canaries is going to be this fall as well, and that is with Mia, Oliver's daughter, in the future, like 30 years in the future. So Philip A. Demick says biggest plus for Crisis, little time for feelings in hallways. Yes. Um, yeah, they did have a few feelings in the Speed Force. That was about it. Is it the Superman from the Supergirl? Yes, he is. Superman and Lois from the Supergirl series are getting their own spinoff. Yes. And at the very end, it was kind of interesting because so Lois and and Superman have a kid. They had a son, and then when the worlds were combined, and we see Superman flying back home, he gets a little call from Lois in his ear, and she goes, "You need to come back. The boys are acting up." And he says, "Boys?" And she says, "Yeah, boys, your sons." So he has at least 2 that we know of, and all we see is him flying back, and that's all we get out of that, so that kinda left a little bit of a question as well. Thanks for reminding me on that, Popeye Pliskin. So, yeah, it's, kinda interesting if they're gonna have 2 kids and them in this series 'cause, I actually like, Tyler Hoch, I can't pronounce his last name, it starts with an H. I like him as Superman. He's not big, but I like the way he plays Superman, to tell you the truth. He's not bad. And he's been getting other work out there. He was on, Another Life, unfortunately, the Katie Sackhoff, Netflix series, and he's been in movies and stuff like that. He's actually been doing other stuff, after playing Superman, which is usually the curse is after you play Superman in a movie or something like that, you never really or a TV show, you kinda get typecast and that's it. But, I think that curse might have been broken now, you know? And I'm looking forward to that one too. Bitsy Tulloch, I liked her from Grimm. I don't know if she's right as Lois. I haven't seen enough of her as Lois in order to figure it out. You just re-jinxed it? Is that what you're telling me, Morks? No, no, Morks. Remember, I'm the one who cancels TV shows. So only if I cover it and I really, really like it. That's what gets TV shows canceled here. Uh, yeah, I don't re-jinx anything. Although my sacrifice to Cthulhu did mean that we're not getting a Watchmen season 2. Thank Cthulhu for that one. And see how I'm keeping it within the DC universe there? I mentioned Watchmen. Yeah. I guess Damon Lindelof said he doesn't want to do a season 2, and HBO is like, "Well, we don't want to do a season 2 without you, so we're not going to do a season 2, and we're done with that series." And I'm like, "Yes, about fucking time." Score 1 for the good guys, man, on that one, because God, yeah, I was not kind to that series, and for good reason. It was not good. I know a lot of people love that series. I didn't. I was almost gonna say you're wrong, but you know, if you love something that will get you into, geekdom and get you into better stuff, that's all well and good. There we go. So, what else is going on this week? Tomorrow is going to be Harley Quinn. That's Friday. Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and talk about it and any other stuff that you want to talk about genre wise. Sunday is going to be the premiere of Avenue 5. That's HBO's Avenue 5. Monday is going to be Is It Worth My Time? The BBC Dracula series. Tuesday is going to be um, the Project Blue Book season 2. I had to think about that for a second. And there we go. That's going to get us through the week. That's right. Join the geekdom. Popeye Pliskin says, I made it through 2 episodes and never went back with Watchmen. I like the movie. You like the movie, Popeye? I couldn't get through the movie. I saw it in the theater, and I remember people laughing during the sex scene. I mean, just out and out laughing because of how bad it was. Um, and yeah, there were some scenes in it that were good, but for the most part, it wasn't that great for me. Yeah. Oh, everyone loves Rorschach. Yeah. I mean, Jackie Earl Haley can never do any wrong, quite honestly. He is an awesome actor. And he owned that fucking role. He really did. He went into the comic, and you could tell he just became Rorschach. That was awesome. So, um, what else is going on? So I cut cable again last night. I went and canceled cable because they were raising my rates on some stuff, but I increased my internet speed capability. So we'll see what happens there, if that is a good trade off or not. So, yeah. And besides that, I was really only watching HBO. No, YouTube TV is way expensive, Morks. That's like $60 a month. I might as well just go back to cable at that point. Now, I've got other avenues that are perfectly legal. I am going to be probably ordering HBO Go and HBO Max when it comes out, of course. So yeah, and really, I mean, yeah, there's you know Popeye Pliskin says, I don't mean to cross over to Marvel, but any thoughts on the Morbius trailer? I'll be talking about that on Saturday, Popeye. I'll be talking about it on Saturday. So it was really good. I think I remember seeing that in the 90s. But I don't want to delve into that too much. But yeah, I will be talking about that on Saturday. I don't do reaction videos, Popeye, just because everyone else does them, and quite honestly, I can't do them. I think they're stupid, quite honestly. I'll end up coming across looking like an asshole, and I'll end up acting even a bigger asshole when I do if I do a reaction video. So I can't do them. Yeah. I'll end up doing fake reaction videos that's what'll happen for me if I did that. So I'd rather just talk about it and say, "Hey, this is coming out here. This was released," and then I'll tell you about it, then. The '90s Spider-Man cartoon had the worst portrayal of Morbius ever. Yeah, I I remember. Philip A. Deming says, "I love the Watchmen movie at the time. There had yet to be a comic movie that got everything right, so I was able to forget the abbreviated ending." Yeah. Felicia Plasma. Yeah, there's some really wrong stuff with that one, I remember. So, to sum things up, if you're not a DC fan, skip it. If you are a DC fan, watch it. You'll have a lot of fun. It's 5 hours. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It's 5 hours that you're gonna be in for it. Um, there's some really good Easter eggs, and, other than that, um, you don't need to watch any other. That's the other thing people are gonna ask is, do I need to watch any of the blah, 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 if I can actually speak? Do I need to watch any of the other CW shows beforehand to prep for this? No, not really. If you read the comics, if you are up on your DC lore about, Crisis on Infinite Earths, you'll be prepped for everything there. The other thing that was kinda weird was, the Harrison Wells character, the Nash character who supposedly let out the Anti-Monitor. They kind of did a wishy-washy, like, "Yeah, there we go. We're done with you," kind of thing. And I don't know where they went with that one. It was just kinda weird. They kinda just let him go, and then it's kinda like trailing off of the, middle of a sentence, like, "And then he was," so, and that's kinda what happened to his character. We saw him at Star Labs, he apologized, then he disappeared. So, yeah. That was, typical CW bad writing when they don't know what to do with the character. Like, okay, he's done. He was our, our MacGuffin there to get things moving. Kind of like a little bit of fiber in the diet. Yeah. So, with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Thank you for everyone who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it through this long video. And remember, take a look at the schedule, suspendedfanimation.com. It's up there. My schedule is up there. It's also on my Facebook page as well. Speaking of Facebook, there is a Facebook group chat. So if you guys want to post stuff on there, respectful things, by the way, and talk amongst yourselves, that's a great place to do it. Also, I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon page. The Patreon page does not have any tiers set up as of yet because I like to give you guys stuff if you're going to be paying me for stuff. So that's why I'm not really, into that at the moment. So thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for Harley Quinn. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out that, Ducky has actually rewritten the Book of Destiny so that he gives him some kind of weird superpowers that aren't defined, even within that whole weird structure of things. There was a couple problems, but anyway, thanks everybody. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night.